Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, today's video, we are going to be making a single combination wood and metal gate. If you remember, a few months ago, I did a combination wood and metal gate on this same particular job, and I had some pieces left over with the intentions of doing this single gate. So let's get started today's project. All right, like I said, I am using some of the material left over from the other gate project, but I did have to purchase some new material. This is some 1x2 063 wall thickness, and that's what we're using for the gate frame here. You know, I'm just cutting everything to length right here and getting all the angles that I need, and using this Mercer Steel Thunder blade here for a while now, and I gotta tell you, it's still sharp as a razor, still working pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with the performance of that product, that's for sure. All right, so I'm over here at my fab table here, and you can just see I've got my pins, and what I like to do on something like this is get two sides perfectly square and clamp them down. Then the other two sides, they just generally go right in, and that's a good basis to get started here. And when I do that, then I just tack or weld as much as I can while everything's fastened into place right here. Got the bottom side, just going to flip it around, and now it's time to get the radius part put in. You can see this is the part of the radius that was left over. You can see it's got a little bit of rust to it. No problem there. We're going to get that taken care of here in just a little bit. You can see that I've made my marks, and I'm just going to go ahead and get my cutoff wheel and cut this thing the angles that I need. Kind of tricky. They're not 45. They are just they are angles that you have to hit to get just right. And just works out pretty good by cutting them like this. You know, it may not be perfect when I get them in there, but if there's a gap, it's no problem getting the gap filled in. They are going to get grinded down eventually. These are the legs, and I'm just getting those things trimmed as well. I got these pencils that I use all the time. I get them on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for those. Those are the best markers for for metal I've found, and very inexpensive, but man, they work pretty good. You can see that I've got the gap right here. There are some bigger gaps, but you know, we'll be able to, just like I said, just be able to fill those in. This is the second radius piece. I'm just cutting that angle here. This is just going to be able to cut this side off right here and be able to drop it right in, and hopefully that's going to, you know, fill the gap, and I won't have too much gap to fill on this one right here. It's a little bit easier. And just like that thing dropped in. Just make my final measurements, be sure everything is just right. You know, it's kind of fun making these small little man gates like this. This is they're fast, they're easy, and as long as your opening that you're putting them in is square, and you make your gate square, there'll be never a problem, the thing fitting right in place. Something like this I can usually make in like a 3-foot by 6-foot gate like this. I can usually make in just a couple of hours. This is the kick plate at the bottom, at the bottom. And this is, again, we're replicating the gate that I had made, the double gate, on the same project right here. That's the idea, is to make them both look the same. Once I got everything all tacked in and everything is nice and square, then I just want to go around and finish welding everything all the way around as much as I can. You know, the idea, I like doing that with everything. I don't like leaving any open gaps or any areas that would be able to collect any water for eventual rust to happen. So I just try to seal off it as much as I can. Once I got that done, and it's time to just grind down all the visual welds, the ones I can get to anyway. Excuse me. So I'm starting off with you know, a pretty abrasive wheel right here. I believe it's like a 29 grit. And it wastes no time getting the metal off of here, which is good. You know, if you've got a lot to do, you can get that metal ground off really quick. Once I got that done all the way around, all the areas, I am going to switch to a more lighter abrasive right here. This is 120 grit, so you know, I'm going from like 29 to 120 right here, and what I usually do is put that on, and then that just really makes a smooth surface, especially for painting. You know, if I don't, I've noticed that I leave scratch marks in the metal. So switching to a more gentle abrasive right here. This 120 seems to do the job pretty good. It takes out those sanding marks and you know, makes for the finished product looking a little bit better at the very end. Also good for just removing a little bit of rust. I'm going to remove as much as I can with this wheel before I end up hitting it with a little sandpaper. Okay, so we are at the section where we're going to put this piece of decor right here in the top part of this gate. Remember the double gate project I did a couple of months ago, we had the same decor in the very top. Now this is a drop that's left over from that particular project, as well as these two radius pieces. I hung on to these pieces knowing that I'm going to be making this man gate for the same project, and that we'd be able to utilize these pieces. The problem that I'm seeing right here is you can see that this right here has got a perfect curlicue start, if you will. And I've got another one right here, and it would be ideal if this one would start in here and this one would finish over here, and it would look at least somewhat proportional, at least better, better than it would if I would have had to just cut this off, and this would not have looked right if I would have put this in there the way it is. So what we're going to do right here is, I'm going to bring you in and show you that, but I'm going to end up cutting a piece out of here about 1 inch. I'm going to re-weld this back. By the time I bend this thing around, I hope that this is going to be just enough for me to get in here, and it'll look a lot better than what it would have done if I would have left it alone. So let me show you how we're going to do that. Yeah, so a little bit of adjustment here. You know, this is the piece that was left over, the drop from the other gate, and you can see that you know, it doesn't quite fit in the right side right there. I'm kind of wanting it to I want to kind of have the curl fit inside, so a little bit of slight modification. I'm going to shorten this thing up a little bit and try to get the curl in there some way, somehow, so it looks a little bit better than what it would if I would have just left it alone. It looked like it was just a random piece stuck in here, but by me making a couple of adjustments here, shortening it up and re-welding them back on, it's going to look a little bit better than it did before. It took a little bit, though. I had to do a lot of cutting and a lot of shortening and moving some pieces around, but I ultimately got it where I was pretty happy with it anyway. And then just smoothing those welds out, and the idea is to get these things smoothed out, and by the time this is painted, no one would ever know that it was altered at all. And there it is. Just fits in there. I'm pretty happy with that right there. It doesn't take much. I'm just getting some little tacks where the metal touches both sides of the frame right there, and that's all it really needs to hold it in place. This is the piece of 14 gauge sheet metal for the kick plate. This is the last piece I had left. I've done a lot of projects lately with this 14 gauge, and I was lucky that this is almost the exact size that I needed. I just needed to trim off the edge right here, and you know, it fit in there just right. Just center it up and get it clamped down, and then get some tacks all the way around. You know, it's a good idea if you're doing stuff like this to pay attention when you're tacking things down. That sometimes they have a tendency to lift and warp, and just be sure that as you're working your way around, you get everything nice and flat. All right, so this is the 1/8 inch by 3/4 inch flat bar stock. This is going to get welded all the way around the outside, and this is what's going to hold the wood in from the back side and just give it that finished look. You know, I use these mag squares. You hear me talk about them a lot. I have a ton of these things. This is what they're handy for right here. They are, you know, this is not a paid endorsement by any means. I don't. They're not a sponsor. I just get these off of Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive, and I just have a whole bunch of them. I use them for all kinds of different things. This thing right here is the radius. It obviously doesn't fit. It's a straight bar. I need to get it over to the porter band, cut it to length, and just about every 3 inches I want to go about halfway through, and that's just going to give me enough flexibility to be able to bend this radius to fit right in there. And you can see that's how that worked right there. And of course the mag squares are keeping everything flush to the metal on the outside. Get everything tacked in, and then I'm going to come back and I'm actually going to weld in, and then also all the saw cuts that I made right there I want to fill in as well, and then I will grind all those flat, and it makes it look like a continuous piece of bar in there. And again, there's those mag squares. You know, I can't say enough about those. If you do any kind of fabrication, these things are handy in many, many different applications, that's for sure. About every 6 inches, about an inch long. That's all you need. That's going to hold everything straight. And then it's time to get back and get all the welds ground down and finished up right here. You know, basically, I just wanted to show you guys this video right here on making a simple little walk gate. This one is a little bit, it's got a little bit of detail to it. But if it didn't, you can just see how easy and simple it all is and how to go about doing it. They don't take very long to make if there's not a lot of detail to them. And sometimes they have pickets on the inside. And just get some hinges on here, and that's about it. But anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this video. Don't forget to check out my website at JIMBO'Sgarage.com for torch lead holders over there, hats and shirts and stuff like that. And also, don't forget to enter for your Show Your Spark giveaway, for the Mercer Show Your Spark giveaway. At Jimbo's Garage. We're getting some good submissions, some good videos over there. You've got a couple, 2 or 3 weeks left. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.